Floyd versus Tenshin. There's not even a question. It's just Donk saying it. Yeah, man. I mean, I spoke about it earlier. People want to see strange things because they're tired of what they perceive as the ordinary. Welcome to a new hell? Next. Can we thank Japan for doing what they do and letting Mayweather do whatever he was doing with Ryzen so we can move on with the Khabib rubbish? Ooh, I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, you know what? I would rather Mayweather fight Tenshin Nasukawa than Khabib Nurmagomedov. Because Khabib Nurmagomedov, well, Tenshin should be fighting tough guys too, and will be, of course. But Khabib is a little bit longer in the tooth. He's much younger. I think Tenshin's like, what, 20 years old, something like that? He's very, very young. So he's got a lot of time to do some stuff. You know, Khabib, man, I think he's 30 at this point, or pretty close. Let's make sure he's fighting the toughest guys he can and defending that UFC title. Yeah, I agree. Next. What news do you have about whether or not Khabib is getting paid and any suspensions for UFC 229 incident? Y'all know that's not the kind of reporting I do. So I have none. Next. Okay, if Khabib gets a long suspension, wouldn't it make sense for him to fight Mayweather, make money, improve striking, and stay active? If he gets a long suspension, he can't fight Mayweather. You wouldn't get the suspension would carry over to boxing, right? So because the suspension, I mean, I guess if you mean by the UFC, then maybe. But if the suspension's from the Nevada Athletic Commission, he can't fight no matter what. Now, I guess he could fight in Russia and just say F it, but then he'd be ruining his career in the United States and any kind of sanctioned territory for the rest of eternity, basically. Although Vitor Belfort did it, so maybe not. But, yeah, that's the issue. If the commission suspends you, it carries over to all the sports. Next. What did you think of the new Slipknot song released on Halloween? Sorry, I don't pee sitting down. Next. Let's see. Please. Here's the thing about unblocking. Y'all tweet dumbass stuff to me, like anti-Madrid stuff. I'm not real bitter about it, but I want my Twitter experience to be pleasant. Don't do that, and you won't have to beg here like a homeless man jingling a cup outside. All right? Give me his name. I'll unblock him later. Next. What do you think is a more promising prospect at this moment, Israel Adesanya or Zabit Magomedsharipov? Oof. I think very highly of both of them. Well, Israel has a bit more of the total package, right? So that's interesting. Zabit, and Zabit's going to be a title. Both of these guys are future title contenders, right? So in that sense, probably the same. But Israel has more crossover appeal. I'll say that. But Zabit might be better for the demos that I'm not aware of internationally, like in Russia and places like that. So I'm still going to say Israel, but both are championship material, no doubt about it. Go ahead. Does Israel deserve the next title shot? Jacare is 2-2 in his last 4 with losses to Gastelum and Whitaker. Weidman is coming off of a loss, and so is Rockhold. He matches up great with either Kelvin or Whitaker. I say why not? Here's what I would say about that. I would not be opposed at all to any of those kinds of opportunities. I think if they want to go ahead and give him one, I would kind of get it. I still feel like, though, in a perfect world, which I grant is not the one we live in, but in a perfect world, I would say I would like to see him have one more fight. If it's Jacare, great. If it's Rockhold, I would take that one too. Someone like that, some kind of OG super force in that division. Brunson was a very, very, very tough test. But more than that, I think he needs somebody who was either a champion in a previous major organization like Jacare or in this one like Rockhold. I think getting past that would just send the hype into overdrive. So if they wanted to go with the title shot next, I'd be okay with it. But I kind of feel like just one more. All right, next. Do gloves change with the weight class, or is the padding for 115 the same as the 265? My understanding is it's the same, but I might be wrong about that. I actually need to check. I know it can change in weight based on the size, in the sense of, do you have quadruple XL gloves versus small gloves? That can change the weight, but I don't think it's changed by virtue of designation in terms of the division. Next. How do you feel about the UFC having division-driven cards like middleweight fights on Saturday or UFC 146? I feel like no matter what I feel like about it, it's the future because it provides insurance against all kinds of problems that emerge. It's like it or don't like it, it's your future. One more. I know it went. Last one. Do Adesanya and Costa fight before one of them gets a title shot or after? I'm going to guess after because you kind of not ruin, but you set back a contender unnecessarily at that point.